Okay, see if that works. Yay! Was wondering why I wasn't hearing anything. Apparently, because I didn't have my microphone on. That certainly helps. Okay, so actually, no, that's fine. Alright, so last week, let's see here. Let's see if I can pull it up. I came up with this cute little deck idea. Uh, do, what do I have you at? 325. I had this cute little deck idea that I'd come up with a while ago and just hadn't figured out how to build it. So we sat here for about 5 hours and we built this from scratch. And so I figured, and this deck, sorry, I should go point this way. This deck here is, it's for Commander. It's red black. It is designed to steal my opponent's creatures and occasionally other things, and then sacrifice them for various reasons. And this is a typical, red black commander deck that does things. And I decided this week I wanted to start working on something that I've already got a little bit of something towards. A little bit of something towards. And I decided I wanted to go with one of my commons only decks. And people that I deal with, elsewhere know that I like to build decks that are straight commons. And so I decided I was going to start off with this. So this deck is basically I want to have a. So let's start off with who my general is. Um, so Lady of the Mountain, she's just a 5/5 for 6 mana, no special abilities or anything. So part of my problem is that I wanted to build. Whoops. I wanted to build a commander deck for every color and color combination. And then I decided I wanted to build an additional one that was commons only. And that gave me a few issues because I wanted, what can I actually play at commons only first of all in terms of colors. So as you can tell, let's see here. As you can tell from the list over here on my right, well, on your right. For me, it's actually on this screen in front of me. I've got my spreadsheet and my Scryfall search here. And red is easy. Red, I now actually have three options on, you know, I have EDH is the old term and still gets used a fair bit for Commander. It's basically the same thing. It was originally called Elder Dragon Highlander, and then somebody at Wizards wanted it on Magic Online, and they were not able to make it identical to EDH, so they called it Commander because certain things hadn't come out yet. I think one of the big problems was there was no command zone as of yet. And so they were trying to find ways to make how Commander worked with the tools that were available at that time on Magic Online. They were trying to figure out how do we make EDH work. And then eventually it got to the point where, hey, we have everything on the client now. It's basically the same format. So once that happened, the two formats basically merged, and Commander became the official Wizard supported name for the format. But everyone also knows it's EDH. It's like how you'll hear some long term players refer to Vintage as Type 1. That goes back to before 1995, so about 30 years. When they, because first it was just playing Magic, and then they came up with a format where you could only play with the newer cards, and they called that Type 2. Which means that Vintage, which was at that point just playing Magic, had to be called Type 1. And then Type 1.5 came out, which eventually became Legacy, etc., etc., etc. There's been a few times when formats have had one name, then it became another name, and whatever. So EDH and Commander, they're the same thing. Um, I prefer to use the terms, I generally prefer to use the terms EDH and General as opposed to Commander, because Commander is not just the format, it's also the role of who heads your deck. So, plus there's the command zone, so it gets a little confusing that way. I prefer EDH and General, but I'll use either or. Anyway, so mono red, easy. Then I was looking through the list and realized that you could only play, technically, mono red or the allied color combinations. And if you take a look, you've got Jedha Dojanen, who's a 5/5, Tobias Andrian, who's a 4/4. But a 5/5 for 6 that requires 3 colored mana versus a 4/4 for 5 that only requires 2 colored mana makes it a little difficult to support. It means your colored mana is more important. Let's see if I can find you here. Nope. Gaming. Magic. Deck ideas. Is it this one? There we are. Now, if we go back to my spreadsheet that's got my various, decks, I'll set this back to 325 again, so it's a little easier to read. I already went with Tobias Andrian. Here's the funny thing. Tobias Andrian in this list, I have for Advisor's Mill because I want to play an Advisor deck. I want to play, Mill. The funny thing about Tobias was I didn't know what I wanted to do with, for a deck, and I was taking a look at what he was. And I'm like, hey, is it reasonable to build a deck around him with him as the general, but not go commons only? And I looked at his creature type and I saw he had been errated to become an advisor. So I'm like, why don't I build Advisor Mill? At which point then it starts leading you down things like, around these guys. Which I think I only have maybe 3 or 4 petitioners to try and get my hands on. And then I have enough. Well, then I say I have enough. But then since I already had Tobias Andrian running a white-blue deck, I have to use Jeddah Dojanen if I'm going with commons. Alright, let's try and find an interesting idea for that one. Dungeons and Parties and Changelings, oh my. Yeah, let's effectively make it a D&D based deck. When I got to blue black, it was Ramirez de Pietro or Savitri Scarsum. Savitri's a 7 mana 6/4, which doesn't sound exciting, but compared to a lot of these other ones, it's actually serviceable. But then you get Ramirez de Pietro, which is the only common. It's the only one that got reprinted at common that actually has an ability. And when I say reprinted with those quote marks, if you take a look, Masters Edition turned around and said, we're making you common. It's a 4/3 for 6 mana, 3 of which is colored. But I'm like, let's make something interesting out of that. So that one's going to be Flicker and Reanimate. So basically, I'm just going to have a bunch of creatures with come into play. The key there is having come into play abilities that I care about. If it dies, I bring it back. If you try to spot removal it, I'll flicker it. And I just keep reusing the same creature over and over and over again. Then we got to Barktooth Warbeard and Lady Orca in Rakdos. And as you can tell, I went late with Lady Orca. And the thing is, here, they're both 7 mana creatures. One's a 7/4 and the other's a 6/5. I'm going to go with the 7/4. Because that extra point of toughness at that point really doesn't make too much difference. But Lady Orca having 7 power means that if I really, really want to, I can attack with her 3 times and kill somebody. Barktooth means I have to get in for 4 hits, unless I give him some help. Lady Orca, 3 swings and the opponent's dead. I'll take that. That was basically my rationale between those two. It was, they're the same cost, they're essentially the same size. One's got an extra point of power, which means 3 swings, not 4. Then these last few, Gerard of the Closed Fist and Lady of the Mountain. 6 mana. I mean, in a vacuum, I'm looking at 6 mana for a 6/5 versus 6 mana for a 5/5, but 1 colored mana versus 1 colorless mana. the colored mana gave me the extra point of power. This is probably better in a vacuum, but it's a human knight. I didn't see anything there that, because again, I want I want stuff that's going to be interesting to play. And so I saw that and I saw Human Knight, and it's like I build humans, I build knights, I build it as, you know, a it's fine. Or then I take a look at Lady of the Mountain, and she's a giant. I can probably find a way to do something with that. So I figured I'd give that a try. And to be fair, I was thinking of who I'd want to use as a general. Completely separate from, like, a lot of the time it was who do I want to use as a general? And then what deck do I want to brew? Sometimes it was what deck do I want to brew? And then who do I use as a general? And then for Celestia, Sir Chandler of Vebren. I want to keep Sir Chandler for. I want to keep Sir Chandler for Pauper, like Pauper specifically, not Pauper Commander or anything, but Pauper specifically. And because it's a 6 mana 4/7, the fact that he doesn't have abilities, I don't care. It will jump in front of and block pretty much any big creature that's played, with the exception, realistically, of Ulamog's Crusher sort of thing. And it's a legend. It's a legendary creature, which also means that one of the biggest removal spells in the Pauper format, which is Cast Down, can't hit it. Now, that being said, one of the other things I was also considering was maybe, use one of the other black aligned legends. So that would be not Ramirez. Savitri Scarsum I could do, but that would die, but it would still kill most things. Barktooth Warbeard, same problem. Lady Orca, same problem. So, but if I do take one of them, one of the other big creatures that's in the format, or big removal spells, I should say, in the format, is Snuff Out. So, and that cares about a non-black creature. So, can I get a black legend that's big enough to tangle with some of these other creatures? And I think for something like that, like ideally what I want is something that's got at least 5 toughness. At which point, I'm looking. If I go with something that's black, I'm looking at Barktooth Warbeard. And that's where it would be going there. But that being said, um, but yeah, I saw Lady of the Mountain, and I'm like, I hadn't figured out what kind of deck I want to build off of her. And then I decided, you know what? Why don't I just build a deck where stuff is cheaper to cast? You know? Why don't I just do that? Give me a sec here. Let me rearrange things slightly. is gonna... Now, do you fit like that properly? Hmm. That did not do what I wanted it to do. Ah, crap. Oh well. Unless... Let me try a thing. Nah, that's not gonna work the way I wanted it to. I'll have to make do. I had everything organized and then I decided to muck around with it. Oh! Yeah, good enough. I'll manage. Anyway, so that's why I ended up going with Lady of the Mountain. Oh, I see what part of the problem was. Oh. I know what I did. I know what I did. You. There we go. That's better. Anywho. So as you can tell, I've already made some headway towards this. I haven't done a lot, but I've done some. Oh yeah, the other thing that I want to mention, and I know I mentioned some of this last time. I want 20 basics. So I generally assume these slots right here are basic land. There are some decks that I've come up with where that's not the case. I have a Jund Reanimator deck that I did not... I knew about that, I'll say rule, but it's not really. But you get the idea. Oh, something just happened. One moment, please. Restore. That's weird. That was very odd. No idea what happened there. One of my one of my browsers crashed, so I don't know what happened. But okay. Anywho. So, I already have some cards here that I wanted to use. Let's see here. Let's say anything that's common. Let's say less to cast. Let's start off with that. Oh yes, and then I also want to make sure it's in Gruul. Okay. So, 12 cards, yada yada yada. Oh. Or O green, or O red. There. So, Thunderscape Familiar is on there because it reduces my green spells. Huh. There. Thornscape Familiar is on there because it reduces my red spells. So if I'm casting my general, and I have Thunderscape Familiar and Thornscape Familiar out, she's now 2 cheaper to cast. This is what I'm looking at when I say Lady of the Mountain discounted fat. I want my stuff to be cheaper to cast. Why did you not get in here? Krosan Drover. Creature spells cost 6 or more. Why did you not come up? Creature spells you cast with mana value 6 or greater. You are common. You're legal and commander. Why do I not see you? Copy. Paste. Text includes creature. That's weird, it should have come up. It's legal and commander. Color identity is in Gruul. Rarity is common. It includes the text last to cast. And the text includes the word creature. Huh. What if I just get rid of the rest of this bit? Oh, there you are. Oh, it is here. I'm just blind. Duh. Okay. Goblin and Archimancer reduces anything that I have that's red or green. Peerless Samurai is not on here. Hardened Berserker is not on here. Stink Drinker Daredevil is not on here. Okay, so why? So, Let's take a look at these 3 cards here. No, that doesn't show up nicely, but okay, whatever. Let's scroll over here a bit. So, I've got a list of cards here that'll reduce themselves. Molten Monstrosity is a great example. If I have Lady of the Mountain out, for example, she's a 5/5. This costs X less to cast, where X is greatest power among creatures you control. So, if I've got a 5 power creature in play, instead of costing 8, this now costs 3. And I get a 5/5 trample. So that's what self-reducing is here. This is all stuff that I came across that will reduce something else. And what they will, what they'll reduce. Alright. But none of you 3 are on this list. Why? Alright. So let's find out. What do you do? Ah, see that? The next spell whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, the next spell you cast this turn. Alright, what does Hardened Berserker do? Whenever it attacks, the next spell you cast this turn. Do you see the pattern? Oh! And Stink Drinker Daredevil, relevantly, I put that there. It's not part of this list that I mentioned, that I had over here, because it will reduce my general, and that will always be useful. Alright, so let's see what happens if I expand this to just the word spell. Actually, I think I can just reduce this to spell regardless. Yeah, number stays the same. Okay. We don't care about equipment. She's just a giant. Dragon spells, maybe. We're not doing anything with face down stuff. Not specifically, anyway. Hardened Berserker we already mentioned. Igneous Elemental. Costs 2 less. It can reduce itself, so that should be over. Yeah, it's over here. Molten Monstrosity, again, we've already got that. Moonrager slash cost less to cast if it's night, aka what I've previously heard referred to as Lightning Bolt. Neonate's Rush I might actually have an interest in. Whoops. Peerless Samurai we've already got written down. Squash. I am likely to... if my general is out, I'm going to have it out. The Daredevil we've already talked about. Suspicious detonation. 4 damage target creature. Can't be countered. Costs less to cast if I sacrificed a artifact for any reason this turn. Tentative connection. I steal a creature. Again, it reduces itself. The familiars we already talked about. Bite down on crime. Um, is a bite ability, which is why it's called Bite Down on Crime. Um, you probably know about the fight ability by now. Fight. This creature and this creature both deal their damage to the other one at the basically at the same time. Bite Down on Crime is only one-sided, which is why people like to call it bite, because it's it's a one-sided fight. It's a bite. Um, Boss Banneret, if we're playing again down here, Tree Focus Shaman. Cactarantula. I'm likely to have deserts in this deck. There's one, two, three. There's at least three. There may be as many as 6 deserts that I can think of that I'd be likely to want to play. It's a 6/5 with reach. Whenever somebody else targets it, I draw. That's serviceable. It's actually quite serviceable. Hamlet Glutton. If I can manage to sack something to it. Oh, it's also a giant. Oh, that's even more fun. Because I can already reduce it because of the I can reduce it because of the Daredevil, which reduces by 1, I think. Oh, by 2. Oh wow, that's huge. That suddenly makes the Glutton into a 5 mana 6/6 trample. Come and play to gain 3 life. And it's not unreasonable, I can reduce that by another point somewhere. Pardon me. Night of the Stampede reduces dinosaurs, may be a thing. Krosan Drover is definitely going to be in there. Mage's Duel. Oh, yeah. It's a fight spell that pumps and can be reduced if I've cast something else this turn. Polywallop. Target creature deals twice damage equal to twice its power. Oh, yeah. That's a removal spell. If I have a 3 power creature in play, I can use that to deal 6. Wow. I need to remember that thing exists. I need to make a note of that somewhere. Where is... Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? That. Whoops. I said... Um... Oh, right. I'm done. Paul... You know what? I'm just gonna... You. Copy. Paste. I need to make a note of that one, because that will do a lot. Titanic Brawl. If I have a creature with a +1 counter on it, deal cost 1 less to cast. And 1 mana or 2 mana. Again, it's a fight card. Sojourner. I'm only realistically going to have 2 basic land types. I'm only realistically going to have 2 basic land types. So that would be 7, 8. That's going to be a 6 mana 4/6 with no abilities. So, I'm I think I've already found anything initially that reduces stuff. Let's go medium, large, huge. Hamlet Glutton. So, I think I'm going to say medium. Power plus toughness is less than 8. Power plus toughness is less than... So that means I can do power plus toughness. I can make it up to 7 inclusive. So I can have a 3/4, and that's fine. Large, I think I am looking at less than 12. So up to a 5/6 or a 6/5, and then huge is... I mean, there's... And then this is anything that's 12 plus. There's no reason to have these numbers in here. It's just... It's a useful way to categorize things. Because, you know, I'm looking at discounted fat. I want them to be... Alright. I want them to be, you know, large enough. Molten Monstrosity is a 5/5, which is 12, which is less... Or, sorry, which is less than 12, I should say. So there's that. Anything else on here that I see that I want to drop? The Cactarantula is a 6/5. Which would not be unreasonable to bring down to 4 to cast. Alright. Cactarantula. Alright. The Hamlet we've already got you. And Seagate Colossus. Whoops. Lady of the Mountain is what? She's just a giant. Alright. I might consider putting Seagate Colossus in if we have enough other random stuff show up. And because it's a 7/5, it would go here. Alright. Stuff that's self-reducing. We've already got you. We can take you out. Igneous Elemental, were you in here? Yes. If there's a land card in my graveyard. So you would be a 4. I mean, it's fine. It's kind of removal-ish. Comes to play 2 damage to target creature. If there's a land in my graveyard, which would be like any sort of Evolving Wilds type effect, let's say. Then suddenly it's a 4/3 for 4. Comes to play, deals 2. I'm not enthralled by it. Neonates Rush. Seagate Colossus. Yavimaya Sojourner. What did you do? Domain. Oh yeah. Unless I've got a way to create other types of land, it's realistically... So, here's the thing. If it had any sort of ability whatsoever, apart from cost reduction, if it had trample, if it had reach, if it had, hell, if it had banding, yeah, like that's likely to happen anytime soon, I would be a lot more interested in it. But it doesn't do anything except be big, and 6 mana for 4/6 creature. So here's how I see things when it comes to creature sizes. It's a 4/6. That averages to basically 5/5. Because power and toughness, you can always slide the numbers, up 1 and then down 1 here, and the cost will work out about the same. If you compare, say, a 1/5 and a 3/2, mana-wise, they will cost about the same. It's just, what's the functionality of that creature? The functionality of this creature is just to be a big creature. So it's a 4/6, 4/6 and a 5/5 and a 6/4. They all work out about the same. So then, if I have 3 different land types, I'm paying 5 mana for a 5/5 creature. I could have done almost as good as that back in Legends. Meh. If it had any survivability whatsoever, Vigilance. Actually, Vigilance would have been a great. Well, Vigilance might have been too strong. Vigilance might have been too strong. But Vigilance is an ability that white can get, blue can get, black can rarely get, red can get, and green can get. So it's like the perfect ability to throw on a creature that's getting slotted into any color. You know, even in limited, a 4/6 for a 4/6 with vigilance for 7, 6 mana, 2 colors, 6 mana. If you haven't got your third color yet, yeah, that's reasonable. If you happen to be playing all 5 colors, great. 8 minus 5 is 3. 3 mana for a 4/6. But then you'd be happy regardless of what abilities it had. It's a 3 mana 4/6. Alright, so let's now start looking at stuff that we want to reduce. So, what am I? Apparently, I am distracted. It happens sometimes. So, let's say we want to be. Well, I was going to start off with type equal creature, but realistically, we want them to be decent sized creatures in the first place. So, let's say power greater than 2. um. Let's try this. Let's try a tag based on its, I think based on its Oracle text, because I think there's tags based on flavor and art and other stuff. So this is based on what it actually does. That calls it a that says it's removal. Wow, that's a pretty decent place to start. Okay. Oh no. Alright. Barbarian Rift Cutter, I could. I don't think I want that sort of thing for blowing up land, though. I think I want, if I'm doing something like that, I think I want it to be when it comes into play, blows up land, or when it dies, blow up land, or something. I don't want to pay 6 mana for a 3/3 that's only going to be there just long enough to. Yeah. Meh. uh, Batterhorn, I don't mind. Blood Pyre Elemental, 4 damage to a creature. Yeah, in case you're wondering why I'm looking this way, I have 2 screens, one here and one here. And even though my browser's on this screen, I'm watching this stream on this one, and it's easier to read at the moment on here than on that one. Don't ask. Don't at me, bro. Blood Pyre Elemental, I didn't really mind it when, at least for limited. But, for an actual constructed format, that's kind of bad. But Batterhorn, you're paying an extra mana for coming to play blow up an artifact. That's actually kind of decent. I would not be completely unhappy with that. Um, the Valisk, no. Chandler. Alright. I mean, he's been wanting to find a deck for a while. He was a option for a general for my mono red commons only deck, and I went with Joven instead. Cinderheart Giant. You have no option on what gets blown up, but if there's only, yeah, it's going to kill something. Cinder Hellion, 5 mana, 4/4 tramp. I mean, it's not a bad creature. Oh yeah, plus the giant is a giant, so surprise, surprise. So it'll also get reduced by the Daredevil. The Hellion is a 4/4 trample for 5, which in of itself is not bad. I'm not completely unhappy with that. 2 damage target opponent. Eh. Let's see what else there is. Oh, Defined Ogre. I can make it a 4/6, or I can make it a 3/5 that comes in play, blows up an artifact. The Earth Cult Elemental pretty much has to come in. In fact, so Earth Cult Elemental in my mono red commons only deck actually does quite a bit because it comes out of play, it makes everyone blow up just sack a thing. Rarely two. And then it's a 6/6 body. Fault Grinders, 7 mana for 4/4 trample, comes out play, blow up a land. I might want you. I might want you. Yeah. $50, so that's a single page. Fire Snake, don't care. Just out of curiosity, how much are you? Okay, you're cheap enough anyway. Froge Dustbitter, 3/2 for 3, comes in play 2 damage to an opponent. Compare that to, what was that? 5 mana for 4/4, 2 damage to target opponent. Oh yeah. What are you? You're a Troll Berserker. So, I think I can reasonably reduce that by 1, which should make it a 4 mana 5/4. Activate this ability only this creature attack and only once each turn. Ah, QQ. But. Nah. Oh, yes. Hammerheim Deadeye. What are you? You're a 3/3. No! 9? 9. Okay, 9 works. Hissing Iguanor. When it dies, 1 damage to target player planeswalker. The elemental we went through, Ingot Chewer. I don't want to go after artifacts too heavily, but I want some. And almost everybody's going to have some artifacts. They're going to have Soul Ring or something. Joven, I think I'm going to leave alone here. Keldon Marauders, 1 damage to a player. Keldon Vandals, nah. It'll, you know, with a decent reduction, it'll be like, you know, 1 mana for the first turn, and then it'll be like 3 mana the next. Yeah. Manticore of the Gauntlet, what are you? Enters the battlefield, put a -1 counter on target creature you control. So, okay, I put on the Earth Code Elemental. It's now 5/5. Oh no. 3 damage to target opponent. Five mana for 5/4. Well, you could. The other thing is, because it can always target itself. So 5 mana for 4/3, 3 damage to an opponent. It's not bad. Mug Bombers. If any creature. Oh, yeah. Ogre Gatecrasher. That's adorable. Leadfoot. Whenever it becomes blocked by an artifact creature, destroy that creature. That's hilarious. Oh. Onake Javelineer. 5/4 with reach for 5. Tap to do 2 damage to a player or battle, which is rarely relevant, but just tap to do 2 damage to a player is kind of good. I think I want you. Javelineer. Yeah, that seems kind of fun. Orcish Hellraiser. When it dies, 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Is that the original printing for it? Yeah, it's the only printing for it. 2 mana for 3/2, and a 3rd mana the next turn. That's not bad. Blocked her. Wow. So Sawtooth Ogre, if you can find a way to give this thing Death Touch, that's hilarious. That's just fun. Shellskin Prowler. When it's turned face up, destroy target land. Nah. Too slow. Spite Bellows. When it leaves, it deals 6 to a creature. This is where the pound toughness less than 8 might seem a bit lopsided, but this is the exact reason for it. Because it's a 6/1. How do you compensate for 6/1? I almost want to play with it. Oh, yes. Sun-Crowned Hunter should probably be in here somewhere. Whenever it's dealt damage, deals 3 damage to target opponent. Oh no. If I can find an effect if I can find an effect like Pestilence. Wow. Yeah, this would be dumb. So just for frame of reference, this thing. At the end of turn, if there's no creatures in play, sack. Fine. Black, colon. 1 damage to each creature and each player. Whenever this is dealt damage, 3 damage to target opponent. I Pestilence for 1. All creatures take 1 point of damage. Oh, this took a point of damage? You take 3. Ping for another point. Oh, this took damage? You take 3. Ping for another point of damage. Oh, this took damage? You take 3. Okay, next player's turn. And you just keep going around. Between those two cards, you can just like start killing the entire board. And if you're only dealing 3 damage, unless somebody else goes Zot to this guy. Yeah, you want to go in. Oh, so close. 9. Viashino Fangtail. I like it, but no. Volcanic Rumbler. Volcanic Rumbler is kind of fun. 6/4 for 6. 3 mana for 1 damage target player. Oh. Oh, you're 5 mana. Oh, you just came out. Oh no, you didn't just came out. You're a reprint. Oh, you're in Jumpstart. You're in Foundations Jumpstart. Oh, that's gonna get confusing. Cause the Foundations set symbol looks very close to that. 2 damage target opponent Planeswalker. 1 damage. 3 mana. This is a better rate and it's easier to activate. It's basically 2 more mana for 2 more damage. You're not going to shoot yourself. And you can hit Planeswalkers. And 6 mana. Yeah, I want. What's Wild Celebrants? Wild Celebrants versus Batterhorn. 5 mana for 5/3. 5 mana for 4/3. Okay, artifacts are not going to be safe. Zealot of the God Pharaoh, on the other hand. I really like. See what happens if I call you. Oh, so close. Now you fit. Alright, green. Just under reach. Oh, no. Wait, 5-3. No, give me the Conclave Naturalist instead. Again, the size works out the same, 5-3 versus 4-4. But this gives me the flexibility of also hitting Naturalist. Of hitting an enchantment instead. Okay, that's kind of funny. Provoke. When this attacks, you may have target creature defending player controls untap and block it if able. In other words, you have to block me if you can. And untap, and the fact that you're tapped is not enough. Cannot be blocked by more than one creature. So it's either not blocking at all, it's either not getting blocked. Yeah, that's fun. Oh, Mold Shambler. Non-creature permanent. Yes, you're a 3-3. You go here. Myconid Spore Tender. What do you do? Destroy up to... Oh, okay. So you're another Conclave Naturalist. Turn face up. Don't care. Turn face up. Oh, but you have Disguise. You have Disguise. Oh, right. Oh yeah, no. Worker Bull Welder comes into play with a -1 counter on it. Ha! Deadshot Minotaur. 5 mana for a 3/4. Comes into play 3 damage to a flyer. I think I'm going to add the Deadshot. And I'm going to add Ulamog's Crusher because you're just dumb. And I think I'm going to add Hand of Emrakul. So, these are all creatures that count as removal some way, somehow, or have been tagged as such. Alright, let's make you guys all some version of green. Let's go with a light green, a decent green, and then let's go with a dark green. Nah. Can I do a better green? Yeah. So these are all here to be big creatures that blow stuff up. Alright. What else is there in terms of big creatures? 921 cards. Alright. I am not going to go through them all. So, let's go power greater than 4. Toughness greater than 4. Not vanilla. Let's see what we get. 107. I'm just going to go through these really quickly. Oh, actually, minus O tag vanilla, or not vanilla, removal. They were not tagged as such. The Gargadon is a decent size. So my question is, what do these guys do? It's, if nothing was cast, transform it into a 6/5 menace. That's a reasonable size body. Rep scale predator, 6/5 menace for 6. Rubble belt braggart. If it's not suspected, you may suspect it. No, no. Seismic monster soar. You do a lot. You do a lot. Monstrosaur. uh, 2/5 for 4 becomes a 6/5. Eh. I occasionally play that. The Wildenpack Outcast. It's a 4/4 trample for 5. I can pay 7. So 2 more mana than its cost to transform it. And it transforms into a 5/7. I can pay a red to give it +1/-1, so Flowstone. Trample on both sides, and when it's transformed, it's any color mana. Gives it plus, it's basically fire breathing. And you can transform it at any time as long as you've got the mana. I think I'm gonna say no here though. Ambush Croddock. Comes into play, return another creature. Maybe. Oh! Yes, because there's creatures I'm gonna want with coming to play abilities. It's a 5/5, so it's large. The Annoyed Altasaur is just... It's... yeah. Blastoderm? No. Bonded Herd Beast. What do you actually do? 5 mana for 4/4, or 4/5 that transforms into a 7/5 menace. Eh. Brambleweft Behemoth is a 6/6 trample for 6, which is basically just, Colossal Dreadmaw, which is right here. Cactarantula, eh. Candlelit Cavalry, 5 mana, 5/5, beginning of... Okay, so occasionally gets trample. Capenna Express. Eh, it's a 6/6 that needs to get crewed. Cavern Stomper, 7/7, enters battlefield scry 2, can't be blocked by small creatures. I want you. Because you come into play, you scry, which is a lot. Fire breathing, assist, 7/5 trample for 8. If you can get somebody else to help pay for it, it helps. Colossal Badger, 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 Badger. Choose target creature. Nah, Colossal Dreadmaw, not too interested. Crash of Rhino Beetles. Crash of Rhino Beetles. Crash of Rhino Beetles is really, really tempting. Because it's 5 mana for 5/5 trample. That can occasionally be a 15/15 trample. Counter more lands. I'm going to want some actual ramp for this. Once I have an idea what these creatures look like, that's when I'm going to start seeing what other reducers I can throw in. I think I gotta say no to the Crash. Dread Little Worm. What are you? Put 2/+1 counters on target creature and untap it. That's kind of big. And hexproof. You. Dread. Oh, Linorm. I thought that said Linoworm for the longest time. No. Dirkwood Behemoth, it's really only something that you want to turn like 1 or 2 sort of thing. Duskdale Worm, 7/7 trample. I think I can... What? That's not a typo. That is only available in Global Series Jiang Yangu and Mu Yunling. It's Earth Shaking C. SI. It's a 5/5 trample for 6. Which is fine, but you can do... I mean, this thing came out in 2018. That's 6-7 years ago now. You can do better now. Emperor Crocodile. Meh. Artifact is... Okay. I'm gonna hate myself in the morning for this, but it's not morning yet. Fangren Marauder. I have to see how you play in Commander, because that... I expect that to be dumb. 6 mana for 5/5. Whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, doesn't say your graveyard or anything, just an artifact. And tokens do go to the graveyard if they say sack it or whatever. And they do go to the graveyard just long enough to trigger abilities like this. You gain 5 life. Yeah. Yeah. Flourishing Hunter. Enters gain equal to the greatest toughness amongst other creatures you control. Generous and comes into play, make a food took. Okay, yeah, this one's good. You are big enough. Although I might have too many creatures that don't do much. Gnarlroot Pallbearer. Greater Sandworm. Greater Sandworm wants to be... Because you're there to dig out lands. You're there for protection. What was the Stomper? You scry. Tanuki fetches land. Grizzled Outcast is just a body. Ground Shaker Slivers gives Slivers. So it's a. No. Hamlet Glutton we already did. I think. Yep. Havenwood Worm, Flash Trample. Stuff that all it. Humbler of Mortals. Comes into play, your creatures get trample. Nah, I'm already gonna have enough trample. I think it's not that big a deal. Caslim Stone Tree. Enters, look at the top 6, can put a land in play tapped, the rest on the bottom. Craft with cave. Oh, I need a cave. And 6 mana. What happens if I succeed? I get a 5/5 trample. Kazandu Stomper. Return up to 2 lands you control. Maybe. Trample as long as there are 4 more. Nah, because I can get 6/6 straight up trample already. Krosan Tusker, meh. Moskami. As long as there's a land card in your graveyard. That's cute. I go from 5, so that's an 8/8 trample for 6. Not unreasonably 5 with one of these other cost reducers out. Oh. Nurturing Bristleback. You are 8/8 spread over 2 bodies. But I want the one beside it. Oak, Gnarl, Warrior. Okay. Next page. eh. Segmented Crotic. Megamorph. Shambling Strider. When you're even more restricted in colors is actually in options, it's actually not bad. Like if you're playing, Ice Age. You're playing Ice Age block or whatever. This is actually a decent card. Siege Room's got Convoke. Oh no. How? This is dumb. Reach, Trample cannot be blocked by flyers. Sky, Scythe, and Golfer. That's dumb. Siege Worm I thought about. Yeah, and this has got 1 point of toughness less than the Engulfer. Where'd you come from? Magic Origins. Okay. So still semi-recent. 2016, I think. It doesn't have trample, it has vigilance instead, which is slightly better in my opinion. But cannot, yeah, these two are really close to each other, surprisingly. 7-6 trample before cycling for 6. Solitary hunter 3-4. That becomes a 5-6. Stampeding elk herd. Attacks, everything tramples. Again, I should have enough trample. Tajir Beastmaster. It's not bad. Oh, it's also an elf. That's a cool thing to know. Tales of Master Seshiro. Put +1 counter on target creature. Yada yada. What do you become? 5-5 Vigilance Haste. And you paid what for it? 5 mana? It's okay. 6-5 Reach and Trample. Tireless Hauler. You are a 4-5 Vigilance. You don't change much. You get a couple extra. You get combined 3 points of Parent Toughness. It's fine. It's just Topiary Panther is Walker of the Grove. I don't mind. Wirewood Guardian. Woolly Loxodon. Again, I'm trying to go through this relatively quickly. Oh, Wrecking Beast. You can make it a 7-7 trample or a 6-6 trample haste. That's cute. I don't have anything small enough that I want to devour Riftburst Hellion. I can cast it face down as a 3-3 for 2 and then turn it face up for 7 later. Wait, what? Like any Ravnican denizen, it decided to visit Plaza West for lunch. Cute. Boulder Branch Golem. Enters the battlefield game. Accomplished Automaton. The Express Devastator. Entread Crusher. Oh yes, Maelstrom Colossus. Boop. Marut, Partic Wanderer. A lot of these creatures are actually really decent. It's just a matter of what kind of deck is this. Oh, that's cute. Are you new? Foundation's Jumpstart. That's actually really good. 6-5 trample for 7 with basic land cycling at 2. I like you. You guys are going to be this green? No. That green. That looks like enough for that. Now, I'm going to go over the deck stats right now. and where to do it? Deck builder. Start deck building. This is just a card list. Doesn't matter if it's public or not. You. And the reason for me doing this is because I want to, whoops, I want to see what creature types, whoops, I have analyze. But because that'll indicate some of what else I want to throw in. So I've got 4 dinosaurs, because what I really want to be looking at now is this batch right here. Foundry Inspector will affect these 2. 1 beast, 4 dinosaurs. Might be enough to put a knight in. Dryad, Eldrazi, Elemental, Brightheart Banneret cares about elementals and warriors. So I see 3 elementals there. Warrior, warrior. So 5. 5 elementals and warriors. 2 tree folk. No shaman. 1 dragon. So plus the Seagate Colossus. No wizards. A couple of warriors. No clerics. And 1 rogue. I don't think Seagate Colossus is worth putting in as of yet. But the Bosk Banneret I can put in. The Brightheart Banneret probably worth it more, because I see 3 elementals and 2 warriors. Brightheart Banneret. Knight of Stampede with 4 dinosaurs. Knight of Stampede. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna check elsewhere. Knight of the Stampede. I think it's a 4 mana 2/4. Eh? Bosk Banneret is a 2 mana 1/3. Tree Folk and Shaman. 2 Tree Folk. It's only got the 2 tree folk. But the Bright Heart Banneret is 2 mana for 1/1 and does Zealous Warriors. And I can reinforce with it. Which means I can always pitch it to draw cards. Dragonlord's Servant, I've only got 1 dragon, so not worth it. Foundry Inspector, I've only got 2 artifact creatures. Yeah. I think realistically that's the only other cost reducer of that type. So. But what that does, though, is it gives me 8 cost reducers so far. Let's just take a quick look to see if there's any other creature types that at all look relevant, and I don't think so. Yeah, Dinosaur and Elemental seem to be the biggest hits. And everything else is like 1 of this, 2 of that. Yeah. I think that's it for that. Alright. Let's see if there's any other ways to reduce cost. Nah, not really. Alright. Now, I want to discount stuff. Alright, so the next thing I need to do. Alright, so I'm not going to be able to do any more cost reductions. What if Okay, that's kind of adorable. So, additional cost, sack a creature. Get that much mana plus 1 of any one color. Spend only to cast creature spells. So if I get Molten Monstrosity out, let's say I've managed to get a 7-power creature out. Molten Monstrosity cost me red. I then sack it to Metamorphosis and get, because it's an 8 mana card. I get 9 mana to spend on creatures. It's kind of silly. Great Hall of the Citadel. Only on legendary spells. You filter, you filter. Alright, I don't really see anything I can use for cheating mana. So, how else can I reduce how much I'm actually paying? Oh, let's see if that works. Alright, Catalyst Elemental. Because this other thing looked cool. Oh. What are you? Shadows over Innistrad Remastered. You were... I guess not. Technically legal, but only because it got printed as a common. Printed as a common in whatchamacallit, Shadows over Innistrad Remastered, which is an arena only set, and Pauper goes by paper or Magic Online. I can probably use Generator's Servant. What do you actually do? Exile top 3. Maybe? Alright. Interesting. Oh! Okay. Leafkin Druid I can probably make use. Whisper of the Wilds I can use. I'll bugger off. Alright, I'm going to send this back to type 1. It's basically the same, except it rules out all the sticker cards and whatever. Stickers, attractions, and all that crap. Which I personally hate. I think I want... Can I do this without... As long as enchant permanent is a creature. Oh! Cast that on a familiar. Okay, that's kind of funny. Goblin and Archimancer reduces red and green spells. So turn 2, play the Anarchomancer. This is theory crafting. This might even be useful for Pauper. Turn 2, drops the Anarchomancer. Turn 3, use the 2 mana to cast Careful Cultivation on the Anarchomancer, which now makes it into a 3/5. With Reach, which now taps for double green on its own, and reduces green and red spells by 1, which means that you can tap it and cast a 3 mana green spell. Okay, that's not dumb. Alright. Careful Cultivation is going in. If I control 4 more creatures, Leafkin Druid. I saw something else. How much are you? Oh, you're 7 to transform. Whisper of the Wilds, only if you control creature power 4 or greater. Whisperer of the Wilds. Gonna bring you down to 9. And 1 more slot. Okay, not lands. Something that's not a land. Hilariously, if I can get the Flame King going, for 6 mana, I get 3 creatures trample. And then I get, I think that's 8 red? Yeah, 8 red. It's a little tempting. Hilariously, this was common and then got upshifted to uncommon in Masters Edition. I might have to go with a Leafkin Druid. You're a 1/1 that taps for green. If nothing was played, it's 2/2 Vigilance that taps for double green. I'm trying to find... What I really want is one more way to get bonus mana. Actually, you know what? Rodeo Pyromancers? I might have to use Rodeo Pyromancers. Yeah, let's go with Rodeo Pyromancers. Because then when I'm trying to cast 2 spells in a single turn, Rodeo Pyromancers basically gives me a 2 mana discount off the second one. So this is a bit of a stretch to call them cost reducers. But it seems to be the best option I've got. Okay, so I have the ability to... So first of all, I've got some really big creatures. Second of all, I've got the ability to blow up artifacts, enchantments, a couple that'll blow up land, a couple that'll blow up just non-creature permanents. I think I'm largely at the point where now it's fill in things like I need spot removal. I need some amount of graveyard removal. I need some kind of mass removal. Spot removal, mass removal, graveyard removal. Anything else specifically that I really need? I am going to want some form of card draw of some sort, but I think I'm going to be relying on the green for that largely. So, what else do I need? Oh yeah. Spot removal. Oh. O-tag removal, minus type creature. Alright. Aftershock goes in. It says 449. I'm going to zip through this. Oh. Minus O damage. That brings it down to 177. That is a huge difference. 449 So call 450 down to 177, call 175. So divide both by 25, you get 7 versus 18, which is 2.5, so about roughly 40% the size. I know some very, very rough numbers, but 40% the size, that's quite a bit. Cleansing wildfires, maybe. I get at least, wait, just for lulz. I have 2 indestructible lands. That's funny. Cleansing wildfire and geothermal. What's it called? Geomancer's Gambit. I can use those to rent myself. uh, demolish. Okay, so basically just pet. Oh, that's non-creature artifact. Okay. Dwarven landslide can take out 2 lands. Their thrift takes out. Pardon me. Fire of Ortonk. Demolish. That also says creatures without flying can't block. Fisher is going in. Doop doop doop. Target creature you control fights target. Go for blood is kind of cute. Hearth charm. Target artifact creature. Not what I'm looking for. Icefall is kind of cute. Huh. Misguided rage. Pillage, plunder, pyroclasm, Lorraine Frost. Vandalize just looks wrong. Choose one or both. I think most likely that's going to end up being both. Okay, Violent Impact versus Volcanic Submersion. Strict upgrade. Save a mana. Volcanic Upheaval. That's actually kind of adorable because that's 1 mana more than Stone Rain, but makes it into an instant. Let's see what else there is. Ancient Animus, put +1 counter. Oh yeah, Atrax's Fall. Destroy target artifact, battle, enchantment, or creature with flying. That's basically the same as Broken Wings. For one less mana, but sorcery, but can also hit a battle. And Broken Wings is still good. I'll come back to that. Artifact enchantment. Curse of the Werefox. That's kind of adorable. Oh yeah, Desecration Plague. I had a I had a sealed deck, draft deck. No, I think it was draft, and I drafted like four or five of those. I was trying to build a land destruction deck. It was bad, but it was funny. I had like it was just wrong. Duel for dominance. Choose target creature if you control. Emerald Charm. Target creature loses flying till end of turn. Wait, what? Guiltleaf Ambush. Make two L's, clash, and give them death touch till end of turn. Okay, Glyph of Reincarnation. What's the Oracle text on you? Holy cow. Destroy all creatures that were blocked by target wall this turn. They can't be regenerated. For each creature that died this way, put a creature card from the graveyard of the player who controlled that creature that... Oh. So... if I have a wall and it blocks one or more creatures, I basically turn around and say, okay, blow up all those, they all die. But you get a creature back from your graveyard for each one that died. What? Okay, weird. Oh yeah, Lignify. I just might throw Lignify in here because Lignify is amazing because it doesn't get rid of the creature, it makes it into a 0/4 with no abilities. Yeah, Lignify is going in because it's just too wrong not to put in. Monvuli Asimas, Natural Land, Naturalize, Natural Obsolescence, Natural Reclamation. Over the edge, pick your poison. Which one's pick your poison? Saxon Artifact, Enchantment, or Creature Flying. Okay. Pinning Feast, Pistol Strike, Plummet, target creature you control things. Okay. want 2 more spot removal. Whoop. Quiet disrepair. Oh, reclaiming fines. Actually, it might have been reclaiming fines I had. But I like reclaiming fines. I will come back to you. Artifact, enchantment, or creature flying. Root grapple. Oh. Hilariously, root grapple can now kill battles. I think I'd go put root grapple in. Run fell. What'd you catch today, my pet? Looks like a bit of vampire stuck between your teeth. Uh, oh. Yeah, shoot down is always nice because it exiles. Artifact or enchantment creature flying scry 1. Spring Sage Ritual. Turn to dust? I don't remember you. Oh, that thing. Utopia Vow. Venom, Venomous Vines. You find a cursed idol. Artifact, enchantment, make treasure and venture. Frenzy Tilling, Hull Breach, aka Descendor Chant. Oh yeah. Kovacs knows we're coming now, said a grinning sis. I just sent the Predator crashing into his stronghold. Pombo Flowers Share Pod. Comes into play, make a food. Pay 5 and sack it to make blow up a non-land. Goblin Firebomb. Oh yes, Introduction to Annihilation I need. Alright. You. Go to 9. And narrow. Actually, I think I can go back to 10 for you. Yep. Nice. Alright. So, looking for anything that says that deals damage to each or XL each or XL all or destroy all or destroy each or O damage to all. Okay. Mass removal. Alright. Ball's Invoker is kind of fun. 3 mana for 4/2. 8:4 damage to each opponent. That's kind of wow. Alright, Blazing Volley. Oh, actually. Uh, so. Let's take out anything that only deals a 6. Wow. Take out anything that only deals 1 damage. Okay, I go from 111 down to 47. Okay. I'll look at the 65-ish, 64 I think, cards that I filtered out later. Still damage does. Grab the Prize is cute. Additional cost, discard a card. Draw 2. If it wasn't a land, deals 2 damage to each opponent. What? Unfortunately, the keyhole turned out to be located in an even larger, scarier clown mouth. Oh, that's adorable. Inflame, 2 damage. Ingenious Artillerist is kind of cute. I want to build a deck around that at some point, I think. Ah, okay. So if I have 1 enter, it deals 1. If I have 3 enter, it deals 3. Alright. Maria's Outrider. Enters the battlefield, deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of basic line type. Oh. Meh. Panicked Ultrasaur. Pyrostatic Hellion. Enters battlefield, you may return a land. If the difference between a Hellion and a Volcano is that volcanoes don't get hungry. What? Sulphur Splash, Whirling Sandstorm. I might have to put Swirling Sandstorm in. Oh. What were you called? You were an aura. You're a red aura. Blood fire something. You're not here. Blood fire. Is this one? Blood fire infusion. Whoops. Deals damage equal to, to each creature. Oh, give me a moment here. uh, deals damage. I think that's right. Did I do that wrong? Uh, jeez. Give me a sec here. Copy. Paste. uh, open bracket. Deals damage and 2 each or 2 all. Or XL each. Then how did I end up getting like less than half the number? Because that looks right. But I went from 47 cards. Oh, I know what I did. What did I have? Damage 2 each. Alright. let's see if... Okay. Come on. Uh, there you are. All right. So literally just the infusion. All right. Oh, right. Hopes if you can see what I'm looking at again. I'm trying to see what kind of mass removal I can come up with. It is not easy when you're restricting yourself to commons. Oh yeah. Right. Builder's Bane is actually not awful. You blow up a bunch of artifacts and then players take damage equal to the number of artifacts that get blown up. Fire... Martyr of Ashes is not unreasonable. Squall. Huh. Oh, Inferno's always been rare, or the one printing where it's... I think that's an uncommon? Yeah. Alright. It's not really a lot of options for mass removal, so you're just gonna have to make do. Alright. See how much graveyard removal I can get. Scholar of Combustion. When it enters exile, huh. I don't have any way. I was gonna say, I don't have any way to reuse stuff in my graveyard, so I could use stuff like Vault Robber to make treasure tokens. Wonder if that might be worth it. Night Soil. Alright, graveyard removal. Alright, I'm going to make you. So there's really only a couple that I saw. Whoops. I'm going to make you this. Um. Boop. Gonna make you. Eh, I want brown, really. They say that's brown. Does that look brown to you? Alright, well, if I'm doing that, I'll do it that way. I don't think I really saw anything here I cared about. Oh yeah, Night Soil. Back! Let go. Stop! Night Soil can only eat creatures, but that's still a lot. That's adorable. Campfire. No, Not campfire. Campfire gets stuff back. Uh, Honored heirloom, which is huge, and I mean huge. Relic of Progenitus and Tormod's Crypt Keeper. Gonna make you 9. Actually, you. There. Boop. Alright. That should be enough for graveyard shenanigans. And then let's try and find some ways to, like, find cards. That's actually kind of silly. Oh. Wait, I can't play you. There we go. That makes more sense. Better you. Whoops. I think I might be able to make use of demand answers. So once you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, Spinehorn Minotaur has double strike. Excavating aneroid. Enters the battlefield. You may sack land. If you do, draw a card. Oh yeah, I forgot about you. Yeah, 5 cents. This just might be the best common I've seen for getting card advantage of any sort. Oh my god, it's okay, and it's when it leaves the battlefield. Oh, when it leaves the battlefield. Oh, that's even better because it can be bounced and flickered. Oh no. Okay. Uh, Demand answers. Mumble, mumble, mumble. I think demand answers. Oh yeah, I need. Something for drawing cards or searching for something that doesn't say it's a land or forest. Calling researcher. Oh. Yeah, that's adorable. Whoops, wrong one. When it enters exile top of your library, during any turn you attack with Goblin Researcher, you may play that card. Infectious bloodlust. Uh, when enchant creature dies, you may search your library for okay. Oh, okay. Oh. Next of you may search for. Oh, Fierce Empath. I mean, kinda wants to be in the deck anyway. Mail 3's a return of. Rareward Health. Or Herald. We have Maya. Search for a mirror. Oh yeah, Searchlight Companion. That thing's always fun. Self-assemblers searches for an assembly worker. You search for something with defender. You search for an aura or shrine. Okay. So basically, I really can only look for like big score and what was the other one? Pirates Pillage. Right. Unexpected windfall. All three of them are like 4 mana. Additional cost discard card. Draw 2, make 2 treasure. Alright. Now, Honored Heirloom is also in here to get rid of graveyards. So I need. Oh yeah, Gruul Locket. I saw in there because I can use that to draw cards. Yeah, Gruul Locket. And before I forget, I should. Let's go. Kind of I want blue. I can actually get rid of this list now, I think. And I can get rid of this list now. Which basically means now I am down to this. Now this is where I go back to deck stats. And deck builder. And start. And again, we're looking at a card list. You don't really matter. Paste upload. And the reason I want this now is I can want this now. So I can track what colors the cards I have are. Hit OK. Hit Analyze. Oh, Bright Hearth Banneret. Whoops. God damn it. Bright Hearth. Update. There we go. Cool. So 3428 is 62. 62. Oh, that's got to be looking at the... wonder if that's the mana symbols. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 55 cards there. 8 from 55 is 47. Yeah, that's saying 62 though. Oh, that's a little more useful. 25 and 20. And 2 multicolored. Alright. So 25 to 20. The multicolored cards don't matter because they count both. So out of 45, 5 to 4. So if I make this... if I make this... let's pull up a calculator real quick. Say 38 times... oh no, wait a sec. Wait a sec. If I go 37 lands... no. If I go 38 lands... that leaves 38 minus 20 is 18. Which means I go 10 and 8. 10 and 8. Alright. But regardless. Oh. Alright. So 4 9s plus 5 9s. Eight. If I make this 18, it would be 8 and 10. So 20, 9 and 11. I'm just putting that there so I can remember how much men I want of what colors. Oh yeah. Um, what can I find that's... Oh yeah. So the girl's signet is actually... Well, girl's signet is fine. Excuse you. So if I'm looking at... You know what? Let's embiggen this now that I can. Let's see how you look. I think that works now. Oh yeah, you should be able to see that a lot easier now. Alright. So if I want... So first thing I want is... Oh yeah, I need Bonder's ornament. um... I think I want... Okay, so 38 lands, 44, so I want 6 mana rocks. Plus I've got, you know, these guys here, so that helps as well. I think I really want Everflowing Chalice in here. I know I want it in here, whether I need it or not. I know I want it. Honored Heirloom I've got. Oh, Lantern of Revealing. Lantern of Revealing is actually kind of big. So, again, it's a manolith. But, for tap, look at the top of your library. If it's a land, you can put into play tapped. If it's not, you can put it on the bottom. So it's basically 4 tap, scry 1, but if it's land, you can have it go into play instead of the bottom. Magnifying glass might be worth it. Sears lantern is really good. Alright. Oh. Um. See if that works. And then not ID less than. Alright. So these are lands that have got a single color identity. Now you guys I'm going to earmark as basics. God damn it. Okay. I hope I wasn't muting for the last while. I think I might have been. Anyway. Right. So this oranges section is going to be basics. So I can make this 27 lands. Add 4, 9, and 5, 9 equal 3 is 12 plus 15. So 20 are basic. So 7 equal pseudo basic. And then 11 other duals, etc. Alright. So let's go through some of these pseudo basics first. Desert of the Fervent. Forgotten Cave. Hidden Volcano. Yeah. Which is kind of Cascade, but better. Uh, Smoldering crater. Oh, I only want 7 pseudo basics. Wow. I think I'll cut the. I wanted the desert because I want Cactarantula. Know what? First things first. What deserts are legal? More than I thought. Oh wow. How many is that? 10? Let's start this part over. Desert of the Fervent. Desert of the Indomitable. 9? Maybe? Yeah. Bristling Backwoods. Conduit of Pylons is not bad. Or Conduit Pylons, I should say. Conduit Pylons, because that surveils one when it comes into play. Sun Scorched Desert. Survivors Encampment, which is back to 9. That's 6. One, two, three, 4. Okay. So, let's change you to... Oh well, that's too dark. That's better. Yeah, I don't have anything else using that. Alright. Now. I'm going to put you and the encampment here. Alright. You guys give me either color. Conduit Pylons also does. I'm going to paste you here and delete you from here. You're red, you're green. Alright. Now, 20 of these are... Oh crap, what was the heavier color? Red was the heavier color. Uh... There. So that's the basics sorted out. Now, I want 27, so 15. So I want 4 more. I want 3 more red. Dwarven mine. Hidden volcano. And 1 more. I want something I don't have to sack. Maybe Great Furnace? I think I might have to go with the Sackland. Think I either go with Sackland or I go with Great Furnace. I don't like... You know what? Give me Smoldering Crater. Alright. Screw it. You're going back here. $20, $24, $25. Now green ones, and I only get 2 more green. Honey Garden isn't bad. Whoops. And then maybe the cycling. There's one that cycles for double slippery cars. There. Because that should be. Wait. Yeah, 12 and 15. Oh no. Oh no, 15. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, that's right. Okay. Now, dual lands and other lands. Cliffgate and Thriving. Manorgate, Thriving Grove. Okay. So that's... And now I've got access to 3 more lands. Oh well. Oh, no. ID equal Gruul. There we go. Now, what do I get that's interesting for actual red-green lands? Bleeding Woods. I only get 3 lands left. Bleeding Woods is 1. Alright. An ID less than red. 61. Alright, what's the last one? Wastes. Not one I care about. Alright. 2 more lands. Captivating Cave and Cave of Temptation. Both do something useful. Command Tower. Command Tower is an untapped dual land. I have one left. I refuse to count Cryptic Caves for any of my decks. Any of them. They were designed specifically so they would be useful for limited, which I don't have a problem with. But I mean, I just don't like them. But that's a me thing. Forge of Heroes. Hidden Grotto. Surveils. Isn't there a Scry one? Takesha's Dig Site. Okay. Because, wow. And this is about 3.5 hours. Alright, let's, let's deck stats this one more time. Whoops. I keep doing that. Start deck building. Alright. Oh, and what was the... And then this has to go down a 9 now, sadly. Alright. Now, there's many ways to do this. Now, depending on how I'm doing this, sometimes I count graveyard removal as spot removal. Oops, you don't belong there. Whoops. And then pseudo basics are to here. Uh, yes, yes, yes. And then I had 11 mountain, and then 9 forest. Hit OK. Analyze. No error messages up top, which is great. Oh, Shardless Outlander. What is Shardless Outlander? Huh? Shardless Outlander. J25. Oh, Foundations Jumpstart. It's not out yet. Well, might be out. Released a few days ago. Today is the 19th. That came out on the 15th. Okay. I am fine with that. Oh, yeah. And I forgot to add. Um. push you all the way up. This is what I get for not just editing the thing at the bottom. It's the Lady of the Mountain. And then edit, Commander, update. There we go. Analyze. It's going to complain about that until it realizes that Foundation's Jumpstart is legal. Otherwise, share, grab view, copy. Bloody hell. That was really weird. Oh, I know what happened. Remove hyperlink. There. Oh, I know what that is. Okay. But now if I paste and go, there we go. Deck list is complete. Finally, you know what, I'm just going to close this tab and do it that way. And, yay! Have another deck done. Yay! This one took me a lot less time to pull off than my previous. But that was, I mean, to be fair, this one is, you know, when I'm reducing myself down to only being able to play with common cards. First of all, some of these cards I already know are cards I'm going to want, I'm going to need, etc., etc., etc. Aftershock, Fissure, Introduction to Annihilation. Basically, they're at the point where if I'm playing a deck that involves red, I am playing those cards. Night Soil, Relic of Progenitus. Tormod's Crypt Keeper, I've already decided that if I'm playing Graveyard Removal in Commander, I would rather have the Crypt Keeper over Tormod's Crypt. Just having the ability on a 3 mana 3/2 with Vigilance, it just does so much more. Night Soil, Relic of Progenitus, already cards I already knew about. Night Soil, I specifically remembered about that one partly due to being able to play it in Dosan the Falling Leaf, because Dosan was a deck where I wanted, if I could come up with, so it's mono green control, and if I could come up with an answer in green, I was playing that over uh, before I start going to colorless. Um, but yeah, uh, I think that's it for tonight. And hopefully I'll see at least some of you people later. So until next week, have a good night. And you know what? I will close this first. Yes. That and